you all. And your ability to show your work, not tell, show what you did is the money shot, is the power.
I want to thank you for joining today's workshop on elevating your Agile freelancing business in 2022. My name is Ray Freeman, and I have the pleasure of serving two great companies, Tribe and Adaptivate. Now, Adaptivate helps organizations transform to meet changing market conditions. With 7 offices spanning 23 countries and over 100 employees, Adaptivate has successfully delivered Agile at scale for multinational corporations, global business units, and startups. Now, Tribe is a global community of independent Agilists and a sister company of Adaptivate. We provide live workshops, podcasts, meetups, and curated content to help members increase visibility by sharing their expertise with others. Tribe members gain access to online learning and are able to earn business agility certification. And as a member of Tribe, you can gain new business opportunities, contract opportunities, even employment opportunities with Adaptivate. Now, there's no cost to join Tribe. Just visit tribeagile.com and choose join to sign up. Even if you're already in the LinkedIn group, there's a lot more coming and you can't get it without being a member. So I invite you all to join it today. Our guests today have a unique perspective on Agile, building a business, and teamwork. Now, without further ado, I am so excited to present today's workshop on elevating your Agile freelancing business in 2022. Today, we've got some very special guests. We're featuring Nicole and DeMario McIlwain. They're the founders of Agile Connects, Inc., a South Carolina-based management consulting firm specializing in enterprise and organizational Agile transformation. Now, this dynamic husband and wife team takes teamwork to the next level. DeMario, a U.S. Army veteran, focuses his leadership and technical skills on driving the business to become a next level Agile consultancy. While Nicole is a pioneer in transformative Agile adoption. She's a certified Agile coach and a globally accredited trainer with an unrivaled track record for helping people win with Agile. Now, making the jump from being an independent consultant to a business owner is not easy. Trust me, I've tried it. We'll learn how these two entrepreneurs found their purpose and went from thinking about making Agile work better to actually doing it. We'll learn about their personal journey and find out what it takes to establish your own Agile transformation business and not kill each other in the process. Nicole, and DeMario, thank you both for being here.
Hey, thank you.
Thanks for having us.
I do want to jump right into it. So everybody's got a story, right? Everybody's got a story about how they discovered Agile. And it's something I always ask people when I first meet them. So tell me about, how did you discover Agile and end up choosing this as a key point of your profession?
So I would say this, what's really interesting, Ray, is that when we first started our business, Agile was not the focus at all. We were missing a huge opportunity. So just a quick backstory, in corporate America, I was introduced to Agile. And I, like many people way back in like 2012, 2013, Agile just became a part of a list of things you had to do in the consulting space. And I was working for a company, got my CSM, my Scrum certification, and was working in Agile, but not really taking it, serious, just sort of doing it for work, right? I didn't find the passion yet. But what was really interesting is in 2015, I ended up leaving that company, starting a business, and I thought the business was helping companies scale, right? Business strategy, coaching, which is when DeMario and I met. He was doing digital marketing. And so the first 2 or 3 years of us infusing our business, we had no concentration on Agile initially. We just had a concentration on helping companies win, building brands, right? Being relevant. And then this light bulb went off one day that all of the principles and values of Agile were what we were sort of using to grow our business, but we weren't, deliberately offering Agile as a service. And we had this aha moment, like, why aren't we? I'm certified. I'm already coaching. I'm already a Scrum Master. You already understand, because, Agile is pretty much very entrepreneurial. So DeMario was already very familiar with the product ownership, the entrepreneur side. And from that point, I think we sort of had that light bulb moment and said, let's restructure. Let's utilize Agile, make Agile a part of how we do business and work, but also a service. And that was the beginning. So we were missing an opportunity the first 2 years.
I got you. Our audience is made up of people who are entrepreneurs at heart.
Yeah.
They call themselves contractors, freelancers, independent consultants. These are all great titles, but they all indicate a single individual performing as an individual contributor. There's a unique shift that happens, when you're making the mindset change from performing as an individual to operating as a representative of your own business entity. Whole different thing. Can you talk about your journey between those two dynamics, and what was your motivation to even launch your own business?
From my perspective, I had no idea what Agile was, what it means, other than agility itself. So when she used to say, I have a CSM, anybody that's a veteran on here know that CSM in the Army stands for Command Sergeant Major. So I was like, you wasn't in the military. What is that you keep telling me about the CSM? But the more and more I learned about it, and the more and more she was letting me know the things that I was doing actually align with Agile principles, I ended up taking a 24-week course with Villanova University and got everything Agile.
Everything.
Grabbed all these certifications just so I could understand even what she was talking about. So we started actually utilizing it and setting up our business and things that we just did around the house.
Yeah. So basically we used Agile anyway to grow and scale the business, but then we saw the opportunity to actually use it as a service offering, in our consultancy.
Oh, okay. So we're definitely going to talk a little bit more about how you used it personally. I want to get into that some, but there's a big shift that's happening in the world right now. Last year, 4 million people quit their jobs. Another 10 million are considering freelancing as their career and forming their own business. So what is it that you're doing to differentiate yourself from others in the marketplace?
The one thing I wanted to say about your previous question as well, because this sort of dovetails into this question, right, is that when we first started looking at Agile as a business model, it was me. It was centered on me as the coach, right? Dawn, go and be the brand. Dawn Nicole, go and be the brand. We quickly realized in order to scale, I couldn't be the brand. So the rethinking happened where we made a shift where we had to look at maybe the move is not me, right, being the single point of talent, but maybe the move is how do we partner with other Agile coaches and other Agile talent and form a situation where we could compete for business. Because let me tell you, you're not going to a corporation as a one-man shop. If unless your goal is to remain just a single independent contractor on 1099, but if you're looking to scale, right, where you can compete for contracts and that sort of thing, then you're going to need a collective of talent. So that to finish the second question is we had to think where I had to remove myself, so to speak, and say, how do we position ourselves to compete for larger contracts, right? So that was a model mindset change. Now, how do we differentiate ourselves? I would say you're not going to compete with a one angle. In Agile, you can't think that all I have to provide is a service and that alone. You have to constantly figure out how to solve problems and how to find the opportunities. Those are two different things, by the way, right? And so I think it's not just saying, hey, I know how to be a Scrum Master, so let me go Scrum Master, right? Or let me go coach, right? Because everyone can do that. So in 2022, what I'm seeing, Ray, is a real desire for the difference. People want to know, yeah, you're a coach, but what's different about you? Yeah, this topic has been played before, but how do you put a unique spin on it? So people want the difference, and they want multiple offerings in a space, multiple things, whether it's products, tools, assessments that you're building, how you tell your stories.
You keep announcing 2022. Mm-hmm. And the one thing that I look at most is how are, consultants, coaches, anything, how are you positioned for this advancement? One thing that COVID has taught us is that, hey, you have to be online. So one thing that I did for sure was I took a step back and I looked at all of the traditional ways and how people was, consulting, how they was showing up to organizations, how they was conducting classes, all of these things. I took a look at it and says, one thing is missing. No one is fully digitized. In a market where we have, Mark Zuckerberg talking about metaverse and we're talking about Bitcoins and things of that nature, but you're still showing up wanting to do one-on-ones or one-to-manys in classrooms, or you wanting to pass out a bunch of papers to people that's sitting there with iPhones. So I say how we're going to be different. We're going to take an approach by presenting Agile in a completely digital online basically fashion, which is crazy because Agile came from the tech world, and it was surprising to me that most of the things that we do inside of this practice was not digitized.
Right.
So that's one thing I'm shooting for now, we're building on now, and we're going to continue to build on even into next year.
Yep.
Beautiful.
Oh, nicely said, honey.
Yeah, I tried. As you can see, she's the talker. I'm the guy, and I'm trying to stay on script, but give me about 10 more minutes and,
It's going to turn up. Yeah.
No, you're doing well. And this leads right into our next question.
Yeah.
Because the lines between professional and personal are easily blurred, right? Especially when it comes to husband and wife working together.
Yes.
So what is it about being a couple that makes what you do unique? And second to that, what impact has your professional life had on your personal life?
Oh, wow. Oh, okay. I can start us.
Oh, dear.
I can start us off. The one thing that's, first of all, let's just talk about the aspect of being married and in business, marriage first, right? We've been working together for a long time now. So even before COVID, when people are saying, oh my gosh, I'm in the house with my husband or my spouse, help. And, they come to us for advice because we've been doing this since 2016, I think, in the same space, in the same room. The one thing is that you can't take anything too seriously. Like, even if you have a disagreement, we get over things quickly. We get over it quickly. You got to brush it off quickly. And don't take the personal, don't take the professional disagreement or spat into the personal life. So like we do a switch where after 5 or after a certain time, we say, okay, we sort of do this. All right, let's have the switch over, and we make it intentional, right? To say, okay, we're switching over into this other world. Now I'll tell you, because we're both so passionate about entrepreneurship and vision and business and growth, we're hungry for it. It still creeps into our conversations because it's a part of who we are, right? So it is definitely a part of who we are. So we could be out and have a eureka aha moment and have conversations. But I would say my advice is, if you are in business and you're in a relationship, get over it fast. Don't let this creep into your personal, romantic relationship. And also learn to put things in boxes. This is business. We're talking about the business. This is not, this disagreement or this is business. So
I will add, though, when you said the lines are blurred, I look at it from this perspective. We are married and we're in business together. Therefore, in my world, there is no line, because what we do together actually, it plays into our household. It's actually our lifestyles. When, you're on I say working at a corporation somewhere else, they like for you to get along with your team members and things of this nature, and you go through team buildings and things like that. So when you're already unified, that thing still comes into play. How you are working in business together will affect how you are personally engaging with each other after the business hours. So, I say keep it open and don't take anything too serious. Now, when we started off, we actually worked side by side.
Yes.
We had this thing going on. We had a white table section
and a black table.
And a black table section.
And the white table took a lot of breaks, just so you know. They was always on break, just always.
The white table believes in breaks. The black table would just keep rolling, so the white table would get up. Eventually, we had to simplify this method and have an office downstairs and upstairs. Have an office upstairs. Now, I'll tell you a secret for the fellas that's listening. I thought that was called separation, but
No,
She
I
likes,
still come
she
upstairs.
still likes coming into my office. I actually removed all the extra chairs out so she wouldn't stay too
Is
long.
that why those chairs are gone?
Yes, yes.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. But Ray, one thing seriously though, I would say just like a working relationship, if you were in the office, one thing we did have to learn seriously is each other's work styles. DeMario and I don't work the same, and you have to respect that. And now what's really funny is through this working relationship, understanding his co-working style, I'm a better agile coach to people because of it. So I've been able to glean from working in our own business, working in this close relationship and respecting the differences, and then really lend that to my coaching practice to where I'm helping other coach. So my sweet spot is conflict. So they call me on the hardest conflict things on the client sites because I know how to explain the differences. So I sort of use real life scenarios to add to my coaching advantage point. So
that is awesome.
yeah.
You know, I think it's so interesting that you two are not only business partners but life partners.
Yes.
You know, my wife and I, we've done business together for a very long time, and so we're familiar with that as well. But in this marketplace that we're in, there is a rise of what's being called the DIY family, the do-it-yourself family.
Yes.
So that's a new vision for work, and work-life balance has a new meaning that people are eliminating the office altogether in the traditional norms of work. So more families today, they work at home, they cook at home, they care for the kids at home, entertain themselves at home. Some are even schooling their kids at home.
Yes.
So, you know, I hear you have some of the different things that you brought in, but what's the secret to making it all work? And you know, what kind of advice would you give to other couples who are considering starting a business together?
Well, I have a little insight on that right there.
Yes.
I say the most important thing first, you got to get down to the foundation. What do each person specialize in? Understanding your roles, just like you're married, you know, you assume a lot of roles. I'm not saying that you have to have these roles, but you assume a lot of responsibility and roles. And when you're working in business together, you have to assume certain roles as well. You know, if she's, you know, when I like to build websites and technology, but I don't like to spend a lot of time on creating the verbiage around what it does and all this stuff. Just let me hook it together. She loves content. So I stopped thinking. I just went dumbfounded on any type of content and just give it to her. I tell her what I want and just give it to her. And that's her role. So that's what she feeds back to me. On the flip side, she comes to me with a problem. I love solving problems,
yes,
especially in the digital space. She said, oh, I can't do X, Y, Z. So therefore, I'm going to build something to answer that call. And we started understanding that dynamic, and it just helped us move faster and faster because we're not basically twiddling our fingers in the same areas or worrying about the same things at the same time.
We're not colliding in that way because I know what you're good at and you know what I'm good at, and we're able to really leverage that. It took a minute though. I remember in the beginning, I wasn't always good at it because some of the things we liked, but the reality is he's better at it than I am, but I just thought I was good. And so he'd be building or creating something and I'd be like, what is that? Oh, I would change. And he'd be like, oh, excuse me, this is, I didn't ask for the feedback. So you have to learn again to respect those boundaries. The other thing I would say, because I think your question too was, you know, in the spirit of DIY, how do you blend it all and make it all happen for you, right? In a world where people are working from home, cooking, rearing kids and doing everything. One thing that I would say that's important is to have some daily rituals. Protect your peace. And I tell DeMario this all the time. I have days where he says, oh, was it a light day today? And I say, no, I made it a light day. You got to, this is rich. I want you to know, I chose for it to be a light day. I chose for no one to get me worked up today. I designed this moment. And we do have some rituals, some daily ceremonies, in case that word scares anyone, right? Some daily ceremonies that we do. For example, we never start work without our coffee. In the morning, we have a moment of coffee. We cheers to the coffee. We sit down and talk. We have just that moment, that connection, no matter how early my day might start. So there's some just small ceremony things that we do to protect the sustainability of the balance of who we want to be. So
it's beautiful. Being so intentional about your
yes,
day, and not letting the day dictate
yes,
your feelings and the way you work
because
together.
it's easy to do. We all know it's easy to let the day dictate and to let other people draw our emotions and our reactions. So we have to really protect that piece.
Yes.
So
I'm going to put it on Front Street. So, you know, anybody that knows
Uh-oh.
me, they know I will look at my phone when you're calling. And if it's not that time or that hour that I wanted to be in that space, I will not answer that phone. My family knows it. They know if they really want to get in contact with me.
They call me.
They call her.
Yeah, because I'll answer my phone.
She's sitting right there beside me, and they be like, you know, he won't answer his phone, or you have to call me twice.
Yeah.
You know,
again, differences. It's where we differ. When we were in business together, I would, because I was also the sales agent. Because see, for the freelancers and the consultants, you have to wear every hat when you're trying to be your business, right? And I had sent out proposals, and so DeMario used to say, "Why do you answer your phone?" I said, "Because I'm in business. I'm answering my phone." And he said, "I don't answer my phone. The voicemail, I get to choose." I said, "Well, I answer my phone." So this is, again, a difference that's respected. And then when it's the robocalls, he laughs at me. See, that's what you get for answering your phone. All that you answer every call.
Yes.
Anyway,
The voicemail is a very unique technology that people don't take advantage of. The voicemails allows you to actually think about your response
and have a choice.
You know, if you get a business call, that's great. You know, because we are small businesses, we can afford to not be on speed dial. You can call, you can ask a question, gives me time to process it and come up with a definitive or a great, you know, solution for the question that you're asking. And I can call you back with that information. That eliminates us staying on the phone for 30 minutes down to 5 to 10 minutes.
Yes.
Like you're thinking there. I like that.
That's a thought.
I think I'm gonna stop answering my phone.
Oh no!
I will tell you, Ray. I got to throw this in there right quick.
Do it.
I used to do digital marketing for an Infinity car dealership, and I used to work along the side of the GM. I never forget, and I always tell her the story. The GM and I was standing out in front of the receptionist. He got a call in, and she told him that he had a call. He looked at her and he said, "It wasn't on my schedule." And he didn't take the call. And he said, "No one gets to dictate when I should talk to them. I'm the leader. I dictate when I talk to them." So, you know, when he did that, I was like, whoa, I didn't realize we could do that. And ever since then, that's how I operate.
And just someone in the chat, Anthony said, he's going to try your idea. Anthony, stick with me, Anthony. You don't have to let it go to voicemail now. You can pick and choose. Okay. We differ on that, but that's okay. So.
That's very good. That's very good advice. Let's switch gears just a little bit. Back to something we were talking about before. You hear a lot of talk about this thing called the Great Resignation.
Yes.
Right? There's people are leaving their jobs in droves. People leaving the traditional workforce, but this has led to a great reshuffling of people and of business. And with that, the formation of new businesses has skyrocketed in 2021, particularly in the areas of e-commerce. Now, what is your top advice for new business owners or someone just getting started in the industry? Like, what do you do first? Do you go out and form an entity? Do you figure, like, where do you start?
All right. So now I'm going to answer this question, though, specifically from the point of I was working, I got that itch to jump out, and now what's my next step? So I'm not going to answer it from you already have the entrepreneur you've always had. So I'm going to do it from the switch, the context setting, okay? The switch, because I think that's important. So here's what I'm going to say. And the reason I'm going to say this is because on the side, I have a private clientele of coaching these business. So these would be people who would come and see me, and this is the same advice I would give them. I had a lady who said, "Dawn, so what do I do first, right? I have the idea. Do I go set up my LLC? Do I do my website?" I said, no. Don't do any of that. You know what you should do? Whatever that burning desire is, that passion that you're itching to get started, do a talk about it. Do something to call attention. Go start, right? Because oftentimes I see people put the cart before the horse. And it's very easy to do, which is why we wrote this book of overthinking, overprocessing. So we wrote a book that's called Get Out of Your Head and Onto Your Purpose. And what happens is if people start on the administrative side, Oh, I got to go get the website built, right? They go website. Okay, but now I need an LLC. Oh my gosh, I need business cards. And I watched this lady last week. I'm not going to say her name. One of my private practice clients do the same thing. I can't do that. I said, no, you have to start by talking to your ideal client. This is all we need. What is your topic? What is your it, right? What is the thing that you do that you're passionate about that solves a problem for a lot of people? And I helped her identify that. We got clarity. Okay, great. And who buys it? Who has this problem? Once we knew that connection point, those two, that symbiotic relationship, don't do anything but go start massively introducing yourself and get your topic out there. Talk about it, right? Put it out there. Do quizzes, but do everything you can in this sweet spot so you can see how people respond. You need to see how people respond to you before you go set all this stuff up, because you might find out in 6 months or 90 days now that that's not it. Because as new entrepreneurs, right, we shift, we do. There's what we think we do, and then there's the market response. And so she could not get in her head, and this is important. She kept saying, yeah, but I need a business card to match she was so like dead set on matching. And I said, nobody cares about that. Nobody, honestly, I knew a woman who made 7 figures in her business, never had a website in 2015, right? So you just got to get out there and start. And once we know who you need to talk to, I even showed her, go introduce yourself in this way and get on the phone with somebody, get somebody to hear, to pay you money, basically, for what you do. Let's go start acquiring customers and get interest. And that's where you start. Right? Because you'll learn a lot from that. Then after you do that, now you know for a fact, okay, great, this is my website, this is my thing, this is what it looks like. So that's my best advice for someone who says, what's the very next step? It is not your business card, your flyer, it's not all that. It's just introducing yourself to the person you solve the problem for or bring the opportunity to. So, honey.
Great advice.
That was good. That was good.
Great advice.
And you know, I'm gonna have to come from another view.
Okay.
You know, Ray, when you said that, I immediately got nervous.
Uh-oh. Ray, you don't get nervous often.
Yes, I immediately got nervous. You know, I grew up in a household where my father was an entrepreneur. He's still doing this thing 30 years in. So I grew up in a household where I was pushed to go into business versus go get a job. It's almost like getting a job was looked at. Oh, I got a job today. You got a job?
Which is rare.
Yes. You know, like here, you got these things that you know how to do. See, can you earn a living from this? Yes. So when you're saying about the great recession and people are jumping out there, what was the numbers that you said earlier? You said
4 million have already quit. 10 million are considering quitting and going into a freelance business.
Wow.
Okay, you know why that makes me nervous? And I'm giving an insight to the people that's listening, because, you know, there need to be a reality.
This is going to be good. I have no idea why this makes me nervous.
If anybody out there watch football, there's only one quarterback on the field at a time. There's many positions on the field. There's great catchers. There's great defensive ends. There's great everything, but there's only one quarterback who's responsible to make that play at a time. So when you tell me that there's millions of people jumping out there to start their thing, I'm like, okay, let's make sure the thing that you're wanting to start, kind of like what you said, is actually needed. Let's make sure other people will actually pay you, but let's actually make sure that you're not jumping into a crowded pond with your idea. Simply said, because a lot of people jumping out there to start their businesses, and I love it, I'm entrepreneur for life. But after a while, there could come a time where no one's purchasing our business.
Our services.
Yes, I mean, they're not, you know, because everyone is starting something. We do music, and I used to be in the entertainment industry, and I used to hate open mics, because I used to tell artists that, you know, they're like, oh, I went out and had the open mic thing. And I was like, well, all the people in the audience are just waiting for their turn to get on the open mic. They're
all artists.
Yeah, they're not paying your song any attention. So, you know, in this world, when we're building, we really have to find that one little thing that has a variation of our passion, but more so has a bigger variation of, you know, market value, you know, things of that nature.
And that's why I would say, and I know, Ray, it's a lot going on here, right? Because I see your eyes, you're like pondering what's being said. But to your point, I think it's important. The question that should be asked of the people jumping out, which let me tell you, I admire people. That was me. I left a bonus, I left a job. Everybody called me crazy. And I was reporting to the CTO, the Chief Technology Officer in 2015. And I did it afraid. But here's the thing, right? Purpose is great. But you have to really ask yourself, but this is my purpose. I feel like I got to do it because it's my purpose, but you have to eat, you have to survive. But does that purpose solve a problem? Because people pay money for problems to be solved.
Yes.
That's the thing. And every time, and even when and let me tell you, there's been so many whiteboarding sessions. There's been so many, okay, we're going to introduce this new tool and technology or service or products. We have a full gambit of everything you can get in the Agile Connects universe, right? Of how we bring value. But anytime we're going down a rabbit hole, we have to go back to, but does it solve a problem though? Like what problem? And you become better at your craft when it solves a problem for many, right? It's so your ability to be great and grow and scale is if you can figure out how to solve a problem for many people that many people have repetitively, you're winning. So it can't be just purpose is awesome, but you got to eat out here because what you'll find is you done left your job on purpose and you're running on purpose and then you're trying to match it to a problem. Right. And so you got to. So I know because I lived that. I went through that. I thought people needed my project management skills. And when I first came out in 2015, I thought I was going to be a world-class project manager and consultant and grow businesses. But that wasn't enough. I had to figure out, well, what problem, though? Where's the problem in this? You have to be an investigator, an FBI agent for the problem or the opportunity. And if you find an opportunity where there's no problem, you better sell it. Right. Because it's harder to listen. This is good stuff. It's harder to sell the opportunity than it is to fix the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Boom. That's right. That's a gem. Because the opportunity is you as the consultants hearing us saying, okay, what are we missing? What are we not doing? And even when right. And when you say, this is what I'm not doing, you better be able to quantify it with business outcomes. If we were doing this, right, you could scale 50% faster. If we were doing this, you could beat that competition. If you were doing this. So it's the so what to the opportunity. It's not just the opportunity. And as a result, so what? And that's the part.
So well said by both of you. Thank you for sharing that. And you both talked a lot about purpose in this one. And I think that really ties a lot into your book. And that title is Get Out of Your Head and Onto Your Purpose.
Yes, get out of your head and onto your purpose.
So this is when thinking stops and doing starts.
Yes.
So tell me a bit about how this came together and how the two of you ended up writing a book and publishing a book together.
Okay.
Oh,
it's kind of funny.
Well, I was looking at the time because,
No,
my version of the story.
No, let me tell you, corporate America ruined me. That's a strong statement. Look, that could be the tagline to get people to click. Seriously, I didn't know corporate. So let me tell the Agile community something. When I started my business, even though I had the certifications, you all, right, I understood Agile. And this is why now I'm passionate for saying just because someone knows the Agile principles and values does not equate to the Agile mindset. It's different. You have to practice that mindset. I didn't have the Agile mindset when I first started the business. And what that looked like is I over obsessed. This is why we wrote the book once I had a breakthrough. I over obsessed. And as a result, it made me a bad business person because in corporate America, we're taught to plan, but no one teaches you how to pivot. So when we first started working together, I thought everything had to be overanalyzed, overprocessed. Let me give you an example. We'd go to a client site, we found new business, we'd show up. This is back in the day when we would show up, right? Pre-COVID. And they were sold on the business. And DeMario and I would have our business briefcase, and all. And then they would say, great, this sounds wonderful. How long before I get a proposal? And we would literally look at the person and say, 1 week. I would say 1 week. He would say 1 day. And we'd be like, right? Differences. Because I was an overthinker. In my mind, more time meant quality. It equaled all these wrong things. Seriously, I put so much value in the wrong things. And so as a result, sometimes I didn't show up. I over obsessed, right? I over practiced. I did not know how to leave room for the magic and live in the moment. And as a result, I was losing things. I was losing client opportunities. I was taking too long. I wasn't showing up. I was showing up too rehearsed, right? Too buttoned up, leaving no space. And constantly DeMario would say, it doesn't take all that. And then one day my breakthrough came because in working together, he told me early on, he said, you know what? You're better in the moment. I said, what do you mean? What do you mean? And he said, when you think you have to go away and go study and rehearse and practice and script, that doesn't work for you. When I ask you a question and you're in the moment with me and you answer, you know your stuff. You're better in the moment. And the moment he told me that, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm better. I know this stuff. It comes from my gut. This is me. I can just show up. I'm good. And this breakthrough is what led to get out of your head already and onto your purpose. Live, try it. Listen, even if you fail, you have the right to be wrong. Try it.
Yes.
So
it's simple. It's simple. I'm going to put it to you like this. Ray, you're thirsty.
I hope not.
I sell water. You and I just need to agree upon a price that you will pay for my water to quench your thirst, and I can get rid of this bottle. I don't need a PowerPoint for that. I don't need a long conference call for that. I don't need to tell you all the elements of the water. You're thirsty. So therefore, what we say in that is find the people who are looking for you, who need your service. You'll find out that all that preparation is not needed. If you find people who are searching for or have an interest in what the service or skill that you can provide, sometimes it can be a simple conversation.
Well, you say business takes 5 minutes.
Business takes 5 minutes. Everything else is just entertainment and getting to know each other.
And Ray, we did have someone ask where they could purchase the book. Could I just say?
Yes, please.
It's on Amazon and everywhere books are sold, Kindle, Barnes and Noble. Literally, if you just look up Get Out of Your Head and Onto Your Purpose, Nicole, DeMario, you'll get to us pretty quickly.
Also, with your company now, for more information on how to connect with you, how do people get in touch with you?
Thanks to this guy, we're building a digital ecosystem. So if people want to if they want to join an Agile community, and I'm not talking about on LinkedIn or Facebook, but we're the first independent Agile social community for Agilists all around the world. If they simply go to agileconnects.com, that's CONNEX.com, Agile Connects. Sign up for a free account. And this is where there's access to opportunities like tools, resources, careers, if you're looking for a job, when we're going to look for a contract, people who want to jump on a contract with us. So that's a great connection place. So find us at our home there at agileconnects.com and then watch us on our own television station.
AgileNationTV.com.
Yeah.
Agile Nation TV.
Agile TV? Agile TV?
Agile Nation TV.
Agile Nation TV. Wait a minute, we got to talk a little bit more about that. You have a TV network?
Yes. we're it's still actually in beta, but it's actually available to all viewers right now.
24/7.
It's a 24/7 streaming platform that basically produces all Agile content.
Agile everything.
We're going to continue to expand on it. We welcome those that have, things out there already that they want to promote to the Agile community, in a video form. If it's on YouTube, Vimeo, what have you, get in contact with us. We can actually pull it over, as well as, setting up our own Agile shows. The ecosystem is very unique. What we believe in is if it's not there, let's create it. Yes. Let's not beg for a position on somebody else's. I'm not knocking you, but let's create it. LinkedIn is a great place. LinkedIn, is beautiful. But to kind of back up a little bit, the reason that Agile Connects exists is because my wife, she kills on LinkedIn. She probably all the presidents of the United States follow my wife on LinkedIn.
I wish.
So when she was telling me, I was actually from a digital marketing side, I operated on the Facebooks and things of that nature. She was like, oh, you need to get on LinkedIn. So, I looked at where she was at and where I was at, and I had to build. And I was like, man, I can't find any space on LinkedIn. There's a lot of experts there, and I didn't want to compete. So I say, let's build our own.
Yeah.
Which actually, so kind of segue into when you're on YouTube, you're looking for things that kind of excite you in the moment. You want to learn more things about Agile. You have to keep searching. So I was like, let's create a place where this is just 24/7.
Yeah.
Sit back on your couch, get your sandwich and relax, and let's just keep building on this. And also with that, we feel that a lot of people like to study in Agile. So therefore we have agileeducate.com, which has Agile courses online.
Certified accredited courses in case you want those PDUs. Yeah. You want those credits.
Very important.
And Ray, can we just say to this group here, so to the independent consultants listening, first of all, thank you for being here. If any of you are looking for a stage or a platform to get your voice heard, let's say you already do talks, you have a podcast, right? You have a show and there's no platform. You have a home now. Agile Nation TV right now is welcoming free of charge people who want to build shows or content like this. We're looking for you. So if you're looking for that stage, that platform, we want to give that to you. One thing to switch gears in closing that I didn't say earlier that I just want to close with on my side is the other thing is that don't be afraid to specialize in something. All of you are on this call today because maybe you're a scrum master, a coach, right? You're a product owner, you're something and you're independent. Let me tell you something. People pay for specialists, not generalists. When you figure out how to find your niche, right? The riches are in the niches. If you can figure out what is the thing you love to talk about, Agile is so big. There's something you love. If you can find what you love and find people who love it, most of the opportunities, Ray, that I got this year have been because I made it clear. Agile mindset is my thing. I eat it for breakfast. Okay. And I do it. I slice and dice it and I keep pioneering new ways, you know, the 5 R's of the Agile mindset journey. So what is your thing and how are you making that known so those people can find you? Don't be afraid to fall in love with your specialty and then find people who love it.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Well said. I'm getting so many one-liners that I can use from you guys. Excellent. That's great advice. And someone in chat mentioned that is great advice.
Thank you.
So once again, I do want to say for more information on Dawn and DeMario McIlwain and the great work that they're doing in the Agile community, go to your website one more time.
AgileConnectsInc.com. So if you're looking for services, it's AgileConnectsInc.com. If you want to join our free community, it's just AgileConnects.com with an X, CONNEX. And then if you want to watch TV, AgileNationTV.com.
Agile Nation TV.
Yeah.
And you can pick up a copy of their book titled Get Out of Your Head and Onto Your Purpose When Thinking Stops and Doing Starts. It's available on Amazon in both digital and paperback formats.
Yes. Everywhere books are sold. Yep.
Perfect. Perfect. What's next for the McIlwains? What are y'all doing? What's going on for you guys?
I'll let you
DeMario,
start, then I'll
you
tell.
probably got some big vision coming up next. What's happening in your world for 2022 and beyond?
Oh, man. Well, you know, really, what we're focusing on right at this moment in time, I told you that I was telling you earlier off camera that we just really just built into our media room, you know, and I told you that everything needs to be digitized, online. You know, you was asking earlier, like whether you start, once you go through finding out, do you have that service that's needed in the marketplace, then hey, digital, let's go digital. So right now what we're working on the most is we're producing a lot of course content to really throw out there online. You know, e-learning is changing the game right now. E-learning is taking out even traditional learning styles. We already knew that YouTube was the largest search engine on the internet, you know, besides Google for many, many, many years. Now the challenge of it is go to college or learn it from YouTube. So what we're doing is actually providing that content in this field for people to advance in their career or to get that basic introduction into Agile. So we've been filming a lot over the course of the weeks. We're dealing with we're setting up affiliate scenarios. So therefore, if you don't have a course, but you
want to sell a course, we have an
you
accredited course.
You want a little sideline job, come holler at your boy. Sell the courses online with our affiliate program and things of that nature. And also, like I was saying earlier, we're building on Agile Nation TV. The ecosystem that we're creating is basically watch TV, join the community how many members we have right now?
Oh, close to 800, I think. And it's all organic. We haven't marketed this community. It's just growing and growing and growing.
Yes. Watch TV. You're going to see commercials on it anyway. Join the community, get to know each other, look for opportunities, go into Agile Educate and beef up your knowledge and come back and watch TV again, the ecosystem.
Yes. Yes. And thank you. Someone in the chat, I don't want to ignore the people there. They said, thank you for the information and dropping the gems. And we thank you. You're welcome. And we're glad you're receiving it. So definitely.
Yeah, maybe we come out with what's Mark Zuckerberg has Metaverse.
Maybe we're Agileverse.
Agileverse.
Oh,
don't try to steal it. Don't try to steal it. I got it right here on.
Get it on tape.
Agileverse.
No, look at right. What'd you say? No.
Virtual stand-ups and interactions with Agilists across the world. Agileverse.
Yes. Thank you, Anthony.
I'm going there.
Thank you,
2022. Hit me back up. I'll have it up by the end of the week.
And you, what's next for me? Oh, go ahead.
Oh, please. What's next for you?
No, I echo what my husband said, but to the people, I keep being conscious that there are people listening too. And so one thing that I will say, DeMario is absolutely right. If you do any research right now, you do the studies, everything is moving, you all. Everything is moving to the online courses, and you can do an online course. You on this call, hearing our voice, watching us on the screen, you can do, the first course, Ray, that we did last year before we had all the fancy stuff and everything is now an accredited course. I did that on Zoom. Talk about being hungry. And I'm saying this because I don't want anyone to make an excuse and say, oh, I can't do it. I don't have the equipment. Let me tell you, if you have Zoom, right, you can do this. I recorded 24 videos, which is about 100 takes. I was so hungry to get this done. I didn't let anything stop me. And then I took this first course that's now accredited, right? And I went through an accreditation, and today companies have paid for this course. We've run this course, so you can do it. And if you don't know what to talk about, all you have to do is look at the past 30 days. What did you talk about the past 30 days? Who did you give advice to? What problems did you solve? Look back, it's in you. So I just want to tell people, stay hungry, don't make excuses, and get out of your head and onto your purpose.
And I'll add to that, just to actually prove that point. There's a lady out there that did a course on how to make macaroons.
Macaroons.
Okay. Just the basic thing that you could probably find. You could Google it, but she actually did a course on it. And I think she actually did $10,000 a month on her course on making macaroons.
Yeah, macaroons.
Not different types, just one course.
One type.
Yes.
So we all know something that people would buy, pay for. So we should, that's all I'm saying.
Well, you always say that if you pass, how you say that? If you pass.
I always say if you pass the second grade, you're qualified, right? Once you get to the third grade, to tell people how to pass second grade. You don't have to be expert. Right. Did you pass one benchmark? Look back and help somebody else pass. Talk about your experience. By the way, in this day and age, Ray, people do want to know how the sausage is made. Get a load of that. Yeah, take that one. People do want to know how the sausage is made, you all. And your ability to show your work, not tell, show what you did is the money shot, is the power. Because a lot of people can talk about it, they can't show it. The power is in being able to show it. They want to know how the sausage is made in this day and age.
I love it. I've learned so much today. As an Agilist myself, as an entrepreneur and someone who has started many businesses, and with my wife, I've learned a lot from you today, and things that I will definitely take into my own business aspirations and my own personal life. So I thank you for sharing your story with myself and with all of our audience here. We've really been enriched by this conversation. So I can't thank you enough for being here.
Thank you for having us and giving us the
sure.
stage. Thank you.
Awesome. So on behalf of our sponsor, Adaptivate, and our global community manager, Chantel Janur, for putting this together and bringing us all here. And of course, the tribe members around the globe who are part of our community and what we aspire to do. I want to thank our special guests today, DeMario and Nicole. And also thank you all for being here with us today. I hope this conversation has inspired you. And if it did, do join us. We like to have these types of sessions regularly. We're going to do something like this monthly. We'll be featuring great and talented Agilists who are making a difference in this community and really elevating their freelancing career as a real business in 2022 and beyond. Share this with your network and the people who you know that might enjoy it, and together we'll build a tribe of the future. So I'm Ray Freeman, and thank you so much for being here. We'll see you all next time.
See you. Thank you.